Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 20th of August 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs, so watch this video till last. But I am requesting you all the students that you can download our application, that is Careers Cloud, and the link of this application is given in the description box. After that you can log in with your email ID, and after login you can click on this crack current affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. If you see the price, you will definitely surprise. But the most important thing, we are covering 90 to 95% of that current affair which can come in every type of exam, like state exam, SSC, any type of banking exam. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily section, we are providing you three things. One is the detailed current affair, question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on an application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again we are providing three things. One is the detailed current affair, next is the question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on an application on weekly basis. The most important section is the monthly, and we are providing four type of PDFs. One is the detailed current affair, second is the question and answer format of current affair, third is the best 100 current affair, that is also provided in the form of question and answer, and last is the pocket PDF. It means the 2-liner and the 3-liners current affair will be given to you so that you can revise the current affair in quick format. But to enhance your performance further, we are also providing topic wise current affair, and we are providing you 20 most important topics PDF which are very important for every type of exam. It means if you want to cover all the current affairs related to one topic, then you have to pick that PDF and you can revise all the current affairs related to that topic. So you can use this topic wise PDF. And guys, if you are a banking aspirant, then we are providing three things. One is the detail, and second is the question and answer format only related to banking and economy, and third is the quiz section which you can also attempt on our application on monthly basis, and this is also only related to banking and economy. And guys, if you want to cover all the past current affair of 2021 from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing budget and economic survey, detail will be provided, and also expected question and answer will be provided so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. And guys, we are also providing state current affairs, and if you are preparing for your respective state exam, then we are covering every state and union territory. So guys, there is no different subscription of these topics. We are providing all these things under one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud, and you have to log in with your email ID. You can click on this crack current affair section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. But if you are a new student, you are just starting your current affair preparation, then you have to buy this 2-year current affair because the price is very much low and there is no much difference between the 1 year and 2-year price. And we are providing 10% extra discount on that minimal cost if you use this code ASH10. And if you have any query, you can email us on this email ID or you can call us on this number. So let's start today's current affair, that is 20th of August 2021. But I am requesting you all the students, please motivate us by providing like, by sharing this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And guys, join our Telegram group from the description box link. And starting with the most important question section, and here is the first question. What is the rank of India in terms of crypto adoption in the world according to 2021 Global Crypto Adoption Index? So the main keyword here is the 2021 Global Crypto Adoption Index. And what is the rank of India in the crypto adoption? Rank of India is second, guys. So answer of this question is second. And remember, which country topped? Vietnam topped under this index. And this index is released by United States of America based company which is known as Chainalysis, or you can say Chainalysis. So you can just remember the name, but it is not so much important. The name of the organization, it is a crypto analysis firm, and it is Chainalysis. You can see here, India ranks second in terms of crypto adoption in the world 2021 Global Crypto Adoption Index by the blockchain data platform which is known as Chainalysis. And you can also see here, it is the second edition of this index. Earlier this index was released in 2020, and India rank in 2020 was 11. So there is a big jump from Indian side because India's now rank is second. So remember, and the index ranks countries based on the three indicator, guys. These are very important because these three indicators like on-chain value received, on-chain retail value received, or you can say exchange trade volume. So on these three indicators, countries are ranked in the Global Crypto Adoption Index 2021. And guys, you can also remember it aims to provide an objective measure of which country have the highest level of cryptocurrency adoption. So you have to just remember the keywords. Keywords are cryptocurrency adoption. This rank is released by Global Crypto Adoption Index 2021. This index is released by one USA company, Chainalysis. And you can also remember India's rank is second and the top country is Vietnam. These are the 4 or 5 important points under this question. And recent related news, this is again most important question we covered already. El Salvador became the first country in the world to grant legal tender status to Bitcoin. It means if you want to purchase something in market, you can use Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, because the use of Bitcoin as a legal tender will become law in the 90 days in the El Salvador, and the use of Bitcoin will be totally optional. You can also use the El Salvador local currency, but you can also use the cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. So guys, remember about El Salvador also. Moving to next question. So only one most important question was there. Now we are moving to very important question, but you have to like this video. You have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel, and please join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Ministry of Tourism signs MOU with which company to strengthen tourism industry in the country? So especially during COVID-19, tourism industry hit so badly. So that's why we have to revive this tourism industry, and Ministry of Tourism signed MOU with 2 companies. One is the Make My Trip, second is Ibibo Group, or you can say it is Go Ibibo. Go Ibibo, I think all the students know this, and answer of this question is both A and B, and answer of this question is D. So Ministry of Tourism has signed memorandum of understanding with 2 Indian travel agencies. One is the Make My Trip, second is fully owned subsidiary of Make My Trip is Ibibo Group Private Limited, to strengthen the hospitality and tourism industry in India. So these 2 companies are very important. You can see the logo here, Make My Trip and Ibibo Group. And the agreement encourages all the units related to, you can say, the hospitality sector or the tourism sector to register with the Nidhi portal, and also after that with the Sathi portal. Guys, you have to remember that Nidhi stands for National Integrated Database of Hospitality Industry, and Sathi stands for System for Assessment, Awareness and Training for the Hospitality Industry due to COVID-19. So all the workers which comes under the hospitality sector will be trained under the Sathi platform. And it is to promote local tourism industry with proper protection against fear of spreading COVID-19, like proper use of mask, or you can say proper sanitization, all these things covered under the, you can say, the Sathi portal and the Nidhi portal. Both entities will take the necessary steps in identified areas to encourage and promote strategic and technical cooperation in the hospitality and the tourism sector. And the main aim is to gain insight, designing evidence-based and targeted policy measures to promote safe and sustainable tourism. So guys, you have to just remember the name of the companies and Ministry of Tourism, because prior to this, the Ministry of Tourism also signed a MOU with Ease My Trip, Clear Trip and Yatra.com to promote the tourism industry all over India. So already they signed one agreement with 3 companies, Ease My Trip, Clear Trip, Yatra.com, now Make My Trip and the Ibibo Group. So guys, you can also remember about the Ministry of Tourism. Ministry of Tourism Union Ministry is G. Kishan Reddy, and he is currently member of Lok Sabha from Sikandrabad. Sikandrabad is in Telangana. So guys, remember these things. Now we are moving to next question. A book titled Mission Domination, an Unfinished Quest, authored by whom? So this question is very important, and this book is related to cricket, and it is Mission Domination, an Unfinished Quest, and it is authored by 2 persons. One is the Boria Majumdar, very important personality, and Kushan Sarkar. So answer of this question is both B and C. So D is the answer. So you can see here, Mission Domination, an Unfinished Quest. It is written by Boria Majumdar and Kushan Sarkar. It is a chronicle of Indian cricket. Very important. It is related to Indian cricket. The book features life events of several Indian cricketers like Rohit Sharma, Shubham Gill, Cheteshwar Pujara, Rishabh Pant. And Boria Majumdar is also the co-author of autobiography of Sachin Tendulkar, Playing It My Way. That's why this personality is very, very important. So you have to remember Sachin Tendulkar's autobiography. All the students know this, Playing It My Way, but it is co-authored by Sachin Tendulkar as well as the Boria Majumdar. And Boria Majumdar is a sports historian and author with a doctorate in the social history of Indian cricket from the University of Oxford. That's why he wrote all the books related to cricket. And he won the Ravindra Puraskar in 2018 for his book 11 Gods. Remember, 11 gods and a billion Indians. So 11 gods means 11 players of Indian cricket team, and is also the co-author of Playing It My Way, Sachin Tendulkar's autobiography. But remember about Kushan Sarkar, again very important personality because he is a news journalist, or you can say sports news journalist, and very important personality because he worked with prominent institutions like PTI, Press Trust of India, and covers cricket as sports and politics associated with it. And he has also covered various international cricket council events, including several World Cup. That's why these two personalities are very, very important. So guys, you have to remember about this personality. But first, A option is again very important. Crisis Knight. So guys, you have to remember this name because she is just 3-year-old, and she recently wrote a book, The Great Big Lion. The Great Big Lion. It is a children book. Great Big Lion. And remember, this book is a story about a lion and the two children, and it talks about friendship, inclusivity, wildlife conservation, and the world of imagination. And guys, remember, Crisis Knight, who is currently residing in Canada. Which country? Canada. Learned how to read at the age of just 1 and started writing the story of the Great Big Lion in her notebook when she was 3-year-old. 3-year-old, and she then shared it with her family and become determined to do the artwork with the motivation of getting the book published. So guys, remember this name. This question can be asked in SBA. This is very, very important. Moving to next question. Which organization members have signed an agreement for the cooperation in the remote sensing satellite data sharing? So answer of this question is BRICS, guys. Remember, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The members of these countries have signed an agreement for the cooperation in the remote sensing satellite data sharing. And the agreement was signed under India's BRICS chairmanship because 2021 chairmanship of BRICS lies with India. And you can also see here, BRICS signed deal for the cooperation in the remote sensing satellite and data sharing. And you can also see here the agreement was signed by the heads of the BRICS space agencies, like India is ISRO, and the head of ISRO is K. Sivan. It means from Indian side it is signed by K. Sivan. And the agreement will enable the BRICS space agencies to build a virtual constellation using the specified remote sensing satellites. And this will contribute to strengthen multilateral cooperation between the BRICS space agencies in meeting the challenges faced by humanity, such as global climate change, major disasters, and environmental protection. And guys, you can also remember that Union Minister Piyush Goyal, who is currently the Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, chaired the 5th meeting of BRICS Industry Minister. So by this word like BRICS Industry Minister, you can guess that it is represented by Piyush Goyal, and it is also hosted by India because India is the current chairman of BRICS 2021. And guys, remember, BRICS is very important group all over world because 41% global population comes under only BRICS population, or you can say especially India and China because the largest two population driven countries, or you can say 24% of the global GDP also comes from BRICS, and 16% of the global trade also comes from the BRICS. So this is very important. And 2021 chairmanship lies with India, and India's theme of 2021 is BRICS at the rate 15. 15 stands for the 15th anniversary of the BRICS, and its caption is BRICS Cooperation for Continuity, Consolidation, and Consensus. So remember these things. These are very, very vital information for you. Moving to next question. Legendary German player of which game, Gerd Müller, has passed away? So guys, you have to remember the name of this player. Name of this player is Gerd Müller. Name of the country is German or Germany, and answer of this question is very legendary player of football. So you can see here the picture of this player, and the nickname, this person nicknamed as Bomber the Nation. In English you can say Nations Bomber. And it has represented West Germany and scored around 68 goals in 62 international matches, and has won the World Cup in 1974. Again, very important player because he is the record goal scorer of Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich is basically a German professional sports club based in Munich, Germany. So he was the record goal scorer of this professional sports club. So guys, you have to remember the name of the player. The three things are very important. Name is very important, country is very important, and profession or game is very, very important. So three things are important. Moving to next question. And next question is very simple. Newburgh Diagnostic and Kaveri Hospital appointed whom as their brand ambassador? So guys, now you have already seen the picture. So answer is very simple. Answer is MS Dhoni. So C is the answer. So Newberg Diagnostic, a very important lab chain, and Kaveri Hospitals appointed MS Dhoni as the brand ambassador. And you can also see here the picture of MS Dhoni, now retired, and ropes in MS Dhoni as its brand ambassador. And he has appointed as a brand ambassador for the time period of 2 years. And the agreement will bring health awareness and spread its importance throughout the world. But another group is Kaveri Hospital, because Kaveri Group of Hospital has also signed an agreement with Mahendra Singh Dhoni as a brand ambassador, because this Kaveri Hospital and Newberg Diagnostics headquarters is in Chennai. Chennai is in Tamil Nadu. So Mahendra Singh Dhoni is the captain of IPL team Chennai Super Kings. So that's why both the headquarters are in Chennai. So guys, another important brand ambassadors are very, very important. Like you can see here, the Darren Sammy, West Indies player, and he become the brand ambassador of Fun 88. Akshay Kumar become the brand ambassador of biotechnology firm MyLab. Self-test kit was of COVID-19 was launched by this MyLab. Next, Sanjay Rai Sherpuria, again very important brand ambassador of SDG Chopal. CHOUPAL, Sustainable Development Goal Chopal. You can remember this name also. So now we are moving to next question. Which state recently announced to create 4 new districts and 18 new tehsils? So this question is state specific question, but you can remember, because 4 districts are recently created and 18 new tehsils will be created. And this state is, guys, Chhattisgarh. Earlier this state has 28 districts, but after the creation of these 4 districts, the total districts will become in Chhattisgarh 32. So you can see here, Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel ji announced 4 new districts and 18 tehsils in Chhattisgarh area. And guys, you can see here the name of these districts: Mahendragarh, Manpur, Sakti, and Sarangarh, Billaigarh. So these are the 4 districts of these Chhattisgarh state. And from this declaration, there will be total 32 districts. It means before this creation, 28 districts were there. And a new Minamata Park will be opened exclusively for women in every district headquarter. Especially for the Chhattisgarh students, you have to remember Minamata Park. Minamata served as the first woman MP, first woman member of parliament from Chhattisgarh, who got elected in 1952. So that's why Minamata Park will be opened exclusively for women in every district headquarter and even in the every municipal corporation. And she worked for the women empowerment and social welfare in the parliament. And next, state government also announced Dhanvantri Yojana, and it is announced by Bhupesh Baghel ji in the urban areas of the state. It will provide medicine to the people at concessional rates. So 3 things you have to remember about this news. One is the 4 new districts, name of these districts. Second, what is Minamata Park? This is again very important. This is launched by Chhattisgarh government for the women. And third thing is Dhanvantri Yojana. Dhanvantri was very famous physician in the ancient history. So you can also remember. And guys, remember about Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh Chief Minister is Bhupesh Baghel. Governor is Anusuya Uike. So remember. And National Park is Indravati National Park. One is Kangher Valley National Park. Again very important. Guru Ghasidas National Park. So these are very, very important. Now we are moving to next question. Which organization launched a new cyber security multi-donor trust fund? So a fund will be created for improving the cyber security, especially in the developing country. And this organization is created by World Bank. So remember, C is the answer. So this fund will be created by World Bank. So World Bank launched new cybersecurity multi-donor trust fund, and you can also see this. It comes under the broader digital development partnership umbrella program. It will fund country assessment, offer technical assistance, support training and capacity development for cybersecurity staff in the World Bank partner countries. And total member countries of World Bank are 189. And it aims to better define, understand and systematically roll out of cybersecurity development agenda. It means, in simple word, you can say that this fund will provide financial assistance to those countries or the member countries, especially to strengthen the cybersecurity platform. And the fund will support development of the global knowledge on the cybersecurity solution for low and middle income countries which are member of World Bank. And the launch of the trust fund has been made possible with donor contribution from the 4 countries like Estonia also contributed, Germany also contributed, Japan and Netherlands. These 4 countries started this fund. It means these 4 countries contributed under this fund, which is known as multi-donor trust fund for the cyber security. And you can also remember about this digital development partnership. It was started in 2016 by World Bank, and this partnership makes digital solutions available to developing countries with an emphasis on digital economy, cyber security, internet access for all, digital government, or you can say any type of the platform which is related to digital development. So remember about World Bank here. World Bank is important for you. World Bank was established in 1944 with IMF. You can say these two organizations are known as Bretton Woods twins because both are created simultaneously in 1944. Headquarter is same. Washington DC is the headquarter. And guys, you can also remember president is David Malpass, and total member countries of World Bank are 189. But IMF member countries are 190. Andorra is recently added in the IMF. Moving to next question. Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare virtually inaugurated the Arogya Dara 2.0 to increase the reach of which scheme? So it is Arogya Dara 2.0, and this scheme is Ayushman Bharat Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana. Ayushman Bharat Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana. So they want to increase the reach of this scheme. That's why our Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare Mansukh Mandaviya ji launched this Arogya Dara 2.0. What is the meaning of this 2.0? This is very important because you can see here Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya inaugurated Arogya Dara 2.0 to increase reach of Ayushman Bharat. So 2.0 stands for to mark the completion of 2 crore treatments under the Ayushman Bharat Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana. And center government, or you can say the state government, spend almost 25,000 crore provided to the patients across 33 states and the union territories through the network of 23,000 publics or the private impaneled hospitals which are impaneled under the Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana. And guys, you can also remember Ayushman Bharat scheme was basically started in which year? It was started in the year of 2018 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and it was started in Jharkhand. At the time this question was asked, it was started in Jharkhand. And the scheme aims to ensure quality and affordable health care for the poor and underprivileged people, because the scheme provides cashless and paperless healthcare service benefit up to rupees 5 lakh per year, 5 lakh per family per year. So you can also remember this. And guys, remember 3 other things were also launched. One is the Adhikar Pattar, or you can say right note, will be issued to the beneficiaries during the hospital admission for treatment under Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana, so that all rights which are given under the Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana given to patients. Next, Abhinandan Pattar, it is a thank you note which will be issued to the beneficiaries during their discharge. So it is Abhinandan Pattar. Next is Ayushman Mitra, so that we can provide best to best contribution to the Ayushman Bharat by assisting the eligible people to get Ayushman card. It means we can provide the knowledge to the underprivileged section or the poor section so that they can make Ayushman cards and they can get benefit of this Ayushman Bharat Jan Arogya scheme. So guys, you can also remember about Mansukh Mandaviya ji. Mansukh Mandaviya constituency, because he is currently the member of Rajya Sabha, and the state is Gujarat, and he is a new health minister of India. Remember this. Moving to next question, but it is from picture. It is Riga Technical University Open 2021. So it is a challenge, and this is basically, you can say, chess tournament. Riga Technical University Open 2021, and Riga is a place, very important place in Latvia. So you can also remember this. And this Open or Chess Open 2021 Riga Technical University was held in 15th of August. And Alexander Donchenko won this tournament, or this chess tournament, which is known as Riga Technical University Open Tournament. And Indian player, or you can say Grand Master SL Narayanan finished second in the Riga Open chess journey. So you have to just remember Indian player name, and you can also remember the German player. Its name is Alexander. You can just remember Alexander, and Indian player name is Grandmaster SL Narayanan. And it was the 10th Riga Technical University Open chess tournament of 2021. So remember this. Moving to next, it is cabinet approval. Like 18th of August, cabinet meeting took place chaired by the Prime Minister, and very important approvals, 2 from the national side and 2 from the international side. One is ratification of Kigali Amendment. Guys, this is very, very important. So many times this question was asked, what is Kigali Amendment? Because the cabinet has approved the ratification of the Kigali Amendment for phase down of hydrofluorocarbons. Remember, Kigali Amendment stands for reduction of the hydrofluorocarbons, especially by India, under the Montreal Protocol to prevent greenhouse gas emission to protect ozone layer, because Montreal Protocol is just to protect the ozone layer. And guys, you can also remember it is an amendment of the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer. Montreal Protocol is again very important, and it was adopted in the 28th meeting of the parties of the Montreal Protocol, which was held in 2016, and exact place is Kigali in Rwanda. So that's why it is known as Kigali Amendment. And the amendment added powerful greenhouse gases, or you can say a hydrofluorocarbon, to the list of substances that are to be controlled under the protocol. So you have to remember what is Kigali Amendment, that with the other greenhouse gases, hydrofluorocarbon was also added to this, you can say greenhouse gases, substances which can be controlled under this protocol. And as per the amendment, Montreal Protocol parties will phase down or reduce the hydrofluorocarbon production and use by 80 to 85% by the year of 2040. We have to reduce this hydrofluorocarbon and production by the range of 80 to 85% by the year of 2040. And India, which comes under the developing countries group, will also phase down this hydrofluorocarbon in 4 steps from 2032 to 2047, like 10% reduction till the year of 2032, hydrofluorocarbon especially, 20% reduction in 2037 till the date of 2037, 30% till 2042, and 40%, not 40, it is 80% by the year of 2047. So there is a gap of, you can say, 5 years, 5 years gap, 5-year gap, but 10% gap, but there is extremely high gap, that is 50% gap. So you have to remember this is the target of India to reduce the uses of hydrofluorocarbons from 2032 to 2047. Next is launch of National Mission on Edible Oils, Oil Palm. We already covered this question. The cabinet approved the launch of this National Mission on Edible Oils or Oil Palm, which is also known as NMEOOP. It stands for National Mission on Edible Oils, Oil Palm, as a new centrally sponsored scheme with a financial outlay of 11,040 crore rupees, with a special focus on the northeastern region and one union territory, that is Andaman and Nicobar. It is to reduce the edible oil import dependence and make the country self-sufficient in the cooking oil. Next, India and USA signed an agreement in the field of geology. You have to just remember that India and USA just signed an agreement to improve the field of the geology. And India and Bangladesh also signed an agreement for the disaster management, resilience and the mitigation, because both countries agreed to extend mutual support on the request of their country at the time of disaster, natural or the human induced, in the field of relief, response and reconstruction and recovery. So you have to remember India and Bangladesh in the disaster management and India and USA in the field of geology. So now we are moving to important question section, guys. You have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And guys, remember, please join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Universal Service Obligation Fund signed pact with which company for high speed internet access to northeastern region, especially for the northeastern region? And this Universal Service Obligation Fund signed an agreement with Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, it means BSNL, for hiring of 10 Gbps, 10 GB gigabyte per second international bandwidth for the internet connectivity to Agartala area from Bangladesh Submarine Cable Company Limited or Bangladesh via Cox Bazar. So you have to just remember this name of the organization, Universal Service Obligation Fund, signed an agreement with BSNL for the high speed internet access to the northeastern state. And you can also see here the reason behind the agreement is to provide high quality and high speed internet in the northeastern region so that they can get better access to the e-services like e-governance, e-education, e-health, e-commerce, e-banking, especially for the northeastern region, because they can develop by providing these type of the facilities, and we can attach all the areas with the northeastern region and we can develop this northeastern region. And as a part of agreement, this Universal Service Obligation Fund will provide financial support. All the financial support will be provided by this fund, and it is provided for a time period of 3 years for hiring the international bandwidth. And guys, you can remember, if you want this Universal Service Obligation Fund, it was launched in 2004 and it comes under the Indian Telegraph Act of 2003 and it comes under the Ministry of Telecommunication. And remember this, just this is important. Moving to next question. India and which country signed joint guidance document to boost naval ties? So it is just for the boosting navies of both the countries, and it is India and Australia. So guys, remember, for the geology, we tied up with the USA. For disaster management, we tied up with the Bangladesh, and for naval ties, we tied up with the Australia. So these three things are important for today. And the document aims to ensure a shared approach towards regional and global security that will cater to their commitment to promote peace, stability and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific region. So remember this. Moving to next section, it is our one-liner important point. You have to just remember the lines which are written here. Mines Ministry adopted scheme for accreditation of private exploration agency for minerals. It means they are allowing the private companies so that they can mine better. So it will grant accreditation to the private exploration agencies for undertaking prospecting operations of minerals in accordance with the standards and procedures of the scheme. And after the accreditation, the respective private exploration company can apply to the Ministry of their notification under the Mines and Minerals Act, Amendment Act of 2021, which was recently passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha as well. And guys, remember, Union Minister of Mines, or you can say Ministry of Mines, is Prahlad Joshi. Prahlad Joshi, and constituency is Dharwad. Dharwad is in the area of Karnataka. Next, India and Vietnam undertook bilateral maritime exercise in the South China Sea. So again, the name of the exercise is not basically given. So that's why India and Vietnam had conducted bilateral maritime exercise in the South China Sea as a part of maritime cooperation between both the countries. And India has represented two ships. One is INS Ran Vijay from Indian side, and INS Kora. These two ships participated from Indian side. And the main objective that this maritime exercise aims to build trustworthiness and enhance cooperation in the region of South China Sea, or to tackle the dominance of the China in the South China Sea. It also aims to strengthen India-Vietnam defense relation. Next, International Financial Service Center Authority launched pilot run of the International Bullion Exchange. We already covered International Bullion Exchange. So guys, remember, Bullion Exchange stands for like it is a market through which the buyers and sellers trade gold and silver. And the International Bullion Exchange will act as the gateway for the bullion imports into India. It means gold and silver imports to India. All the bullion imports for domestic consumption will be channelized through this exchange, which is known as International Bullion Exchange. And even in Jyoti Srinivas, the chairperson of International Financial Service Center, even the first chairperson of this organization is in Jyoti Srinivas, started this soft launch of International Bullion Exchange because it will be live on 1st October 2021. 1st October, because on 1st October this International Financial Service Center Authority was established, and its headquarters is in Gandhinagar, guys. Chairperson is in Jyoti Srinivas. Next, RBI issued revised guidelines in the lockers in the bank. So it is just to increase the transparency, it is just to provide the compensation to the customers, and it is just to prohibiting the illegal and hazardous substances in the lockers. So this is Reserve Bank of India, and Reserve Bank of India specially instructed to compensate the customer in case of incident like, you can say, fire, theft, burglary, robbery, building collapse, or fraud commitment by the bank's employees. And the compensation has to an amount of equivalent to 100 times the existing annual rent of the safe deposit locker. It means the compensation will be provided the 100 times more than the rent which is given by the customer to the bank on the annual basis. And for the transparency, you can say RBI mandated banks to maintain a branch-wise list of the vacant lockers. So you have to remember this is a locker guidelines. Next, Afghanistan. Yes, guys, Afghanistan is in news. First Vice President Amarullah Saleh declares himself as the caretaker president. So Afghanistan first Vice President Amarullah Saleh declared himself as the caretaker president of Afghanistan after President Ashraf Ghani fled the Taliban captured country, because currently Afghanistan is under the control of Taliban, and capturing Kabul after the US-led forces left the country. And according to the constitution of Afghanistan, in absence, escape, resignation or death of the president, the first vice president will be the caretaker president of the country. And guys, you know the meaning of Taliban. Taliban meaning students. Taliban mean student in the Pashto language or the Pashto language. Remember this. And Afghanistan former president, you have to remember, Ashraf Ghani, capital is Kabul and currency is Afghani. And a new name can be like Islamic Emirates of Afghanistan. New name can be this. Next, World Photography Day 2021 is celebrated on 19th of August. So it is just to celebrate the art, craft, science and history of photography, because it is related to photography. And the day also inspires photographers across the globe to share one of their photographs to share their world with the world. And World Photography Day is also known as World Photo Day. World Photo Day. And first ever, this World Photography Day was celebrated in the year of 2010. And the term photography was coined by very famous person, Dr. or you can say Sir John Frederick William. William Herschel, full name is Herschel. Frederick William Herschel in 1939. This was term coined by this person. Next is World Humanitarian Day, also celebrated on 19th of August, and again this is very important, and you have to just remember that why this day is basically celebrated. This is United Nations Day, and it is celebrated on 19th of August to honor and recognize the efforts of humanitarians across the globe on protecting and supporting the people in need. And first time it was celebrated in the year of 2009, but it is not so much important. Photography Day you can remember. Moving to next, it is the question of the day. Now question is very much simple, and the question is, who is the author of the book Ensuring a Prosperous Future? This is not a book, this is a journal basically, and this is released and written by a very important person, Montek Singh Ahluwalia, very important person. Montek Singh Ahluwalia is an Indian economist and civil servant who was the deputy chairman of the Planning Commission, but he resigned in 2014 because Planning Commission was abolished on 1st of Jan 2015, and the deputy chairman is like a cabinet minister, so it is like a post of the cabinet minister. And Montek Singh Ahluwalia wrote this journal or the book in the year of 2004. Now we are moving to next question. Again this question is related to one of the appointment. Who is the current chairman of the Prime Minister Economic Advisory Council? Again very important question, and I am talking about exact current, like August 2021. Chairman of Prime Minister Economic Advisory Council. You have to tell me answer only in the comment box. I am waiting your answer. So guys, please like this video, please share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And guys, please press this bell button so that you can receive the notification on time, and it is our official channel, that is Telegram channel. You can join from the description box link, and it is a Fierce Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section definitely. And guys, you can also subscribe a PDS for 1 year as well as for 2 year, and you can avail 10% extra discount if you use this code ASH10. So don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy like this smiley, and your exam will definitely clear. Thank you guys. Take care and bye bye.